Do we want to talk about Israel Adesanya training with David Goggins? One of you, Harrington?
Yeah, I mean I have that story. Apparently, he has been working with David Goggins. He posted the video to his Instagram, and then Tim Welsh, Sean O'Malley's coach, says he has it on good authority that what Izzy wants next is a fight with Sean Strickland. He is going to, he just wants to get that win back, and he thinks that's what's next for him.
So, thank you, Harrington. David Goggins, never met the guy. Seems like a very inspirational, motivational guy.
Yeah.
In the corner of John Jones, right?
Was I know Tony Ferguson.
In the corner of Tony Ferguson. I'm sure he was in John Jones's corner versus Stipe. Was he? Or am I imagining that? I know he was there against. He was there against for Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, he was definitely in there with Tony against Patty, I believe. Is the fight.
Maybe I'm completely manufacturing.
UFC 285 against Cyril Gane. He was in Jones' corner.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. I don't think a guy like Israel Adesanya, listen, don't get me wrong, whatever brings you to the dance, whatever gives you a little bit more motivation, whatever spurs you on to get your old mojo back or whatever the case may be, more power to him. But generally, I don't think somebody like Israel Adesanya necessarily. In fact, I'm doing a massive 180. Maybe David Goggins is precisely what he needs because Izzy doesn't need to learn how to fight.
Yeah, he's got to dig deep.
He just needs someone to tap into his mind.
Yeah, and get him remotivated. Yeah, listen, I think depending on what you're using it for, this could be a great thing for him because if it's just to get your ass back in gear, get you motivated, like you're saying, and maybe push yourself to another level that you're not quite getting just doing your basic everyday gym training and you want to just kind of find out who you are. Goggins is the guy to pull that out of you, right? He's just going to torture you. He's going to make you find another level down there. And with somebody like Izzy, who's still shown that he's still got the skills, whereas Tony, I see why that might have been something they were trying to pair up with each other to try to dig him out of the trenches. But I think he's just too far gone physically and in so many other ways where he wasn't able to really make him successful. But Jones, I could see why John would want a guy like that around, a guy who maybe slips off and loses discipline. And Izzy maybe is having the same issues where he just needs to find that next level of commitment and grit, more importantly. So yeah, as long as that's the call. I mean, obviously you can't just train with David for your MMA, you've still got to get a fight. But if he's just trying to get himself, and if he wants Strickland, well, Strickland's had a lot of choice words to say about David Goggins over the years too.
Oh, was he really?
Oh yeah.
What's he said about David Goggins?
Oh, he's called him just a fake, and you know, you're just a guy who runs and acts like he's a tough guy, and they've had some back and forths over the years.
That's when Strickland ended up sparring that Navy SEAL who went like the full time with him, but he ended up getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, I mean, Strickland likes to do that stuff. But yeah, going back to Izzy for a second, yeah, because he doesn't need to learn how to fight. All right, you can make an argument. Oh, he needs to work on his takedown defense. The guy's had a legendary Hall of Fame career. He's probably going to have a few more fights and call it a day. All he needs to do is to tap into that mentality, that psyche, that motivation. And David Goggins is perfect.
Yeah.
Does Izzy need to fight again? No. Does he want to end his career on a few wins? Probably. Does he want to become the champion again? There's a very, very good possibility that he's like, no, I want to be the champion again. And I love the Sean Strickland call out, to be honest. That makes all the sense in the world. You know, beating Izzy was the one that gave Strickland the belt. That's when he became this superstar, you know. Yeah. Izzy versus Sean Strickland, stick it on International Fight Week.
Yeah, it makes total sense, right? It's a redemption fight. It's a fight that kind of set you off and started dipping off on your career. And it's a winnable fight for him too. And I think it's a fight that if you're going to get motivated, like we're talking about, and bringing in Goggins and trying to find that fire again, sometimes circumstances are what you need, right? And having that be that loss that really kind of tipped the scales for you to get that one back, I think makes you hungry in the gym again. So I like that as well. And Strickland needs a fight that's, you know, still relevant and important, but not for the title, obviously. And that makes sense to fight Izzy.
You know, it's crazy because a lot of people came up with the idea that I was defending Israel Adesanya left, right, and center around that time. What I was saying was, Izzy, I think, had become a little complacent. You know, he was beating everybody. He was beating everybody soundly. Obviously, Sean Strickland did a really good job of torturing him at the press conference, brought up all of that dog stuff. And then someone else, I think it was MMA Guru, found like loads of stuff about Izzy and dogs and following dog fetish pages. I don't know if that's true or if there's any validity to it, but there was this narrative, do you know what I mean, that was getting brought up. And then you could bring it back to Izzy like peeing on the octagon when it came in and cocking his leg. And then, of course, Izzy went through, what was it? He had to go to court for drink driving, you know. And then people said I was defending him drink driving. I wasn't. But what I actually said at the time was, I think most people that have a driver's license have maybe had a beer and got behind the wheel of a car, you know. So to use a biblical reference, you know, let the mirth throw the first stone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do think Izzy was going through a lot at those times. I think he was going through a bit of an identity crisis, definitely a bit complacent. And then on the flip side, you got Sean Strickland, who's bloody hungry as hell.
Yeah,
and you're the opportunity. So I think that fight might go very differently in a rematch.
Yeah, I think it absolutely could. And I think a lot of it depends on how hungry Izzy can make himself again. Can he be committed again? Can he be that force that he was for so many years? And man, we saw Volk do it recently. It can happen, but it's you've got to be hungry, and Volk was.
What's the movie? If I could stand up, I would dance. Okay. And if I could, I'm trying to dance, but I can't dance. And I keep getting the moves wrong. And the guy that I'm with me, he can do the dance. He can do the dance, and I'm getting it wrong. Okay. And it's a grimy area. It's not very nice. It's not lush. It's not beautiful that I was used to and I'd become accustomed to. I've gone back to somewhere a bit grimy, you know, and I was having to do a dance and I couldn't do. Oh no. I was doing it and I couldn't do it. Come on, bro. Come on. You've seen this. It revolves around your city.
Oh, it's got to be a Rocky movie then.
Brian Harrington, Mike, what are we going to say, Harrington?
I was going to jump in with the hint from the Fighting City of Philadelphia. Rocky Balboa.
Which Rocky?
Rocky 3. Rocky 3 when he has to get his mojo back.
Well, I know him in the gym when he's trying to work with Apollo and he got no rhythm. I remember that.
Harrington, do you remember the dancing bit where they're in the gym and they got the headbands on and the tiny little shorts?
Oh yeah, I mean it's as 80s as it gets. That was incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
That's the same one with the beach sprints in the crop top belly shirts going on there too.
God. It's so good. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped. You know the deal with Manscaped. They're all about shaving your balls downstairs, but doing it in the safe way. And did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, April is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, and Manscaped have partnered with them, and they are putting their money where their mouth is by donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society to help save lives and promote routine checks, which really is something that you should be doing. And by the way, we have a great offer for you. All those people that want to get in on the action and the offer, go to manscaped.com, use the code BELIEVE. You're going to get 20% off and you're going to get free shipping at manscaped.com.